Good evening, lovely peeps. I'm sorry I'm a couple of minutes late. I was waffling with the Patreon peeps and I lost track of time, and then I saw it was 1 minute past or 31 minutes past, and I was like, oh no, I'm late. So hello, welcome to the first hangout of 2025. I can speak 2025 on the channel. I hope you're all well. I hope you've all had a lovely start to the new year. Mine was very, very, very horizontal, which was fine, but very, very horizontal. So yes. Darcy's made it over. Hi Darcy, hello peeps. And so we are only going to be hanging out for half an hour this evening because I hadn't realised Andrea from Beyond the Pink Door, her hangout is at 7 o'clock tonight, not 8 o'clock. And if that's the new time, which I just hadn't noticed, then next time I do an evening set of hangouts, I'll move everything forward a couple of hours. So we'll start at 4:30 for the Patreon peeps and 5:30 for the main channel, so that we can finish in time to head over to Andrea's Beyond the Pink Door hangout, because I always like seeing what fabrics that she has to offer. And it's always a exercise in self-control to make sure that I don't splurge. So yes. Debbie's made it over. Joker Clear says, and we're back. Conchetta says, hi peeps. Unique says, hello all. Amy says, hello everyone. Hello. Ooh, I've got a million messages. Is that all people saying, where are you? Are you late? Oh no, it's from Caroline. Oh, Caroline. Lots of messages. Oh, thank you so much. Caroline sent me the Wanted Tea extension pack. That's amazing. Thank you so much. I was just saying to the Patreon peeps that I didn't buy a single pattern last year, and bag patterns from my friend's account don't count. But yeah, I can't quite believe it. That's just, I mean, who even am I? What is going on? But yeah. Robin's here. Ina says hello. Hello. Stephanie So says hello. Yannick says, what's the name of Andrea's channel? It's Beyond the Pink Door. And I'm so sorry to your bank balance now. Elena says, hello. Did you already miss us? Yes. And Caroline says, and you didn't buy this. I didn't. So I'm still on my I haven't bought any patterns streak, even though I have been gifted a pattern. It's very kind of you, Caroline. Thank you. Amy says, oh, I bought plenty of patterns last year, personally. I bought lots of fabric. But yeah, no, I haven't destashed them because I haven't put them up for sale and actually sent them out of the sewing room, but I have removed well over 100 patterns from my stash and put them in bags to be put up onto the website to go up as a destash, because they were either very similar to other ones that I'd had, or they were things that I love on other people, but I know I'm not going to like on me. So yeah. Yeah, I'm feeling very virtuous with the no pattern buying, but Amy says, I didn't buy that much fabric though. So yeah, I bought fabric. I bought a fairly decent chunk of fabric actually. Never added it up. Should we add it up and see how much money I spent on fabric last year? Because I did write it all down. So that's how many fabric purchases I made, but some of them, like this one here, there's lots of little bits of fabric in there. So this year, I think I need to keep track of how many meters of each one I buy, how much it was, and when I bought it. But let's have a look and see exactly how much I spent on fabric last year. This will either make me feel very virtuous because it's not as bad as I think it is, or it will make me be like, oh my gosh, I'm terrible. No fabric for me ever again. One of these I did return, and I got a note that I returned it, so I won't cross that one in there. Okay, we're nearly there. Oh, it's going to be quite a lot, because we're already over 750 quid and we haven't got to the giant Festival of Quilts splurge that happened. And final one. There's quite a lot of de-stash from Rachel's account as well. I spent a grand total of £1,351.84 on fabric last year. That's a lot. I should have written down the meterage as well, because I mean technically I have written down how much that each thing. Yeah, technically I have written down the meterage, so I could probably work that out as well. That's a hefty chunk of change. And I didn't do a Goldhawk Road meetup this year as well, which I am planning on doing this year. So that's going to be interesting. I also do really need to buy myself a new laptop. I think I mentioned this in the Hangout, the waffle. I have got an ISA maturing next February, which will pay for it. So if I can hold out till then, that would be great. But all that fabric would have been a nice chunk of change towards my laptop. But think of all the fabrics I'd have missed out on. Oh gosh, no. Anyway, let's catch up with the chat. Noah says, hello, I'm back. Don't forget to like the stream, peeps. Yes, please do. Thumbs up the stream. It really does help. Joker Clee says, yeah, don't forget to mangle that like button. Sarah says, baby boy just fell asleep in my arms, so get to join the live. Oh, cute. And hello. Ina says, I already bought 4 different fabrics this year. I've already bought 12 meters of fabric this year. Whoops. It's all one fabric and it's lining fabric though, so I'm feeling virtuous because that barely counts. Historically Fashion says, hey peeps, I bought plenty of both last year, trying to sew some of it up this year. Nice. Joker Clue says, oh, baby snuggles are always nice to have unless their diapers explode. Lol. Yeah, definitely don't want kids. Sarah says, I saw a few YouTubers doing no spend 2025. I already bought some with Christmas money, so I guess I won't be doing that. Yeah, I've toyed with the idea of doing things like that, and I've toyed the idea of giving myself budgets and things like that. And theoretically, my budget for last year was £1,200, so I was only a little bit over. And that's the kind of budget I've set for myself this year as well. So I've toyed with the idea of those kind of things, but I know myself, and I don't think I could cold turkey it. I could cold turkey a lot of other things, but very pretty fabrics, I would struggle with that. Although I am trying to be much more selective and much more discerning in the prints and fabrics that I buy this year. But yeah, the Patreon waffle's already seen that, but this is the fabric that I've bought so far this year, and there's 12 meters of it. It's a lining fabric. It looks absolutely gorgeous on camera. It's not quite so rich in real life, but it's lining fabric for all of the blue Anaconda and Thesis projects. So got that in the half price sale, so I feel very virtuous, and there was no shipping charged on that one as well. So yeah, that was a good one. Marie says, hello everyone, thought I would pop on and see how everyone is doing. Very nice to see you. How are you doing? Elena says, that's kind of a lot, but not as much as it could be. Oh, it's not as much as some years. And it is, again, just over budget, because I'm theoretically giving myself £100 a month, and I've spent £53 so far this month. Joker Clee says, I'm still kicking myself I didn't get a couple dozen yards of that bridal silk that was sitting next to the till when Fabricland had their closing down sale last spring. Yeah. Unique says, honestly, that's not bad. I was honestly thinking most people who buy ready-made clothing spent more. Quite possibly, yep. Caroline says, it's only just over $112.60 a month, which isn't that much really, and again, within budget. Joker Clear, $17 a yard for silk that's normally $55 per yard should not have been passed up. Lol. Nothing haunts you like that fabric you didn't buy. So, yeah. Marie says, I bought some on the New Year's Eve, so I haven't bought any this year. Nice. I like it. Historically Fashion says, so happy Hangouts are back and you're doing some a little later on, so it's not 3 a.m. here. Can now justify signing up for Patreon. Oh, awesome. Thank you so much. Yes, I'm going to try and alternate the evening Hangouts and the morning Hangouts because they both are brilliant for me for different reasons. And today's was supposed to be a morning Hangout, but I did not sleep last night. So evening Hangout it is, but we will only be doing half an hour today because Andrea's live starts at 7 and I hadn't realized. I thought we had till 8. So yes. Amy says, I try and not buy fabric when I don't have a plan for it, although I already bought some fabric with no plan. Oops. See, I kind of have go-to amounts of certain types of fabrics. My cotton lawn's 5 meters. If I can afford it and they've got it, 6 or 7 meters of viscoses, because they kind of cover all of my bases. There's very few things that won't fit onto those lengths of fabric, and I usually can get more than one project out of lengths of fabric like that. So that's my 5 meters of cotton lawn, which you will be seeing very soon. So I don't always necessarily have a set goal in mind, but I do know that at the very least I can get my favorite dress out of those lengths of fabric. So if I find a print that I love and I can afford that much of it, that will be what I get. If it's incredibly expensive, like some of the silks that I've got back here from Dolce & Gabbana through Stitch Fabrics that are like £35 a meter, I will buy 3 meters and then make that work for whatever I've got. So yeah, I don't always have like a set in stone plan for a fabric, but I usually have an idea of what I want to do with it. So there's usually a particular amount of yardage bought. Unique says, my large Lady McElroy haul was earlier this month, so I'm starting off the year with a bang. Lol, nice. Deb's here. I have been forced into a no spend, at least for the foreseeable few months, but it's not like I haven't got a huge fabric and pattern stash to work through, and it's not like I'm short of hardware. This is true. This is true. And this is my reasoning as well, and why I'm going to try and buy less this year. Like I said, I've given myself a budget of £1,200 for the year because I can't not buy fabric, and I'm really pleasantly surprised that I was just over budget for last year. Because that is kind of nice, and I really love all the fabrics I bought last year. So I'm trying to, in my brain, reason out the fact that I already have all of this, and what I need to do is buy the trim or the lining or the interfacing that's going to make these projects possible, because there's some stuff back here that's just so stunning. Like some of my like silk dupioni projects that are up in this cubby hole up here, some of those will need extra silk dupioni, so it's not like it's a lining fabric, it's an external fabric and it's an expensive one, but I won't be able to finish the project without it. So that's what I'm attempting to rationale or reason out in my brain this year. But yeah, no, I know what you mean, Deb, because you sell the hardware, so it's not like you're short of it. Sarah says, I get such bad FOMO when it comes to fabric prints. I've been burned a few times when I waited to buy some and they got discontinued, sold out. Yeah. I totally, yeah. There's nothing that haunts you more than the fabric you didn't buy. And one of the things I love about Lady McElroy is that they do have the classic prints that they just keep producing, and I love that. But yeah, if I fall hard for something, I will buy it. I will buy it. Let's see. Ina says, I'm always eyeing the lemon on mint fabric behind you in each video. Any plans of sewing that up anytime soon? This one is going to be part of my Make 9 for this year. So I am going to be sewing it up when the weather warms up a little bit, because it is going to be a very summery dress. Possibly 2 summery dresses, because I have about 6 yards of it. I bought it from fabric.com when they were still a thing. And it's a viscose in the same print as the Telio cotton sateen that I've already got a dress in. So I'm going to have like 3 dresses in the same print in just different bases. But I don't mind that. So yes, it is part of my Make 9 for this year, and it will be sewn up this year. I'm determined. Robin says, genuinely loving all the bridal sewing, but at the point where I can see the finish line, and I'm looking forward to creating for me again. Maybe I should create a Make 9 grid for the finish line wish list. Yes. Don't forget, you need to do something to be photographed in the grounds of North Court House as well. Just putting that out there. Although if you don't manage it this time around, that just means you'll have to come to the next one. So, there's that. Elena said, I already spent almost 150 euro this year on fabric, and that's actually almost my yearly budget on fabric. Ooh, was it a good one though? Darcy says, I have a lot of quilting cotton intended for derm door mock-ups, and it's been in my stash for years now. Yeah, I've got my 2 quilting cotton cubby holes down there because I don't reach for them very often, but every time I get them out to destash them, I'm just like, oh no, I love all of these. So I really need to pull my finger out and get some of those made too. Joker Clee says, usually when I see something I like, chances are it's are high is either 10 yard meters of whatever's left on the bolt, so that I can try to make a little capsule collection of it. Main piece, matching undies, and hopefully top bottom combo too. Top bottom combo too. Nice. Yeah, I do very much enjoy multiple items from one print. It's I would much rather have too much fabric and be able to make a couple of things than not enough that I can only just squeeze out the one thing, because then I get like oh, am I making the wrong thing from this? And if I have enough fabric to make a couple of things, then I don't get that. And I've actually gone back and bought doubles of big prints that I've had some of, especially from Rachel's D-stash, because I'm just like, oh, yeah, I've got 8 meters of it now, so I can make whatever I want, multiple things. Deb says, my inner struggle is how do I reduce my spending but also support other small businesses? It's a toughie. Yes, totally. Actually, I've got a proposition for you. I need to email you about, which I will do probably tomorrow. And if I don't, poke me. But it's not your job to remind me. It's my job to remember to email you. But yes, got an idea. Unique says, honestly though, I find it much cheaper to splurge on sales and then give myself a monthly budget. I spend $10 a meter for my direct from $10 a meter for my direct from Europe order, when buying those same McElroy prints here is $18 to $20 per meter. Yeah, I'm the same as well. Like a big chunk of that money that I spent last year was 350 of it was at the Festival of Quilts, and where it was all discounted. So yeah, I'm very much the same. I will wait for sales and discounts and things like that. So it's not like I'm actively looking to spend £100 per month, but it's what I'm giving myself, and I roll it over if I don't spend it all in 1 month. Joker Clee says, what I do need to add to my stash is some really good edge prints for making skirts, like that brown dress you made that I've been geeking out over fall and winter. Geeking out over all fall winter. Lol. Yes. Border prints, love them. That video is coming really soon. I've got 2 more pieces to make because I've decided that I'm making a dress and a jacket to go with it, which I would like to try and get to before the end of this month. We shall see how that goes because it is the 19th. So I've still got 12 days. It'll be fine. I can do this. It's fine. Marie says, I bought the most beautiful Italian bamboo viscose and I'm trying to find a pattern to do it justice. 7319? 7319. That's my go-to for viscose jersey for dresses. Caroline says, can't beat all of you for Age of Stash fabric. I can beat all of you for Age of Stash fabric. It was bought from Hong Kong in about 1959 by my grandpa. Black figured silk with gold chrysanthemums. Ooh, pretty. We've all been scared of it. And Darcy says to Caroline, that's a magical fabric now. Yes. Box is here. Hello, hello. Sal's here. G'day, Shine and Peeps. I'm creating Dark Lord version of Gandalf and built the world's first battle helm wizard hat. That sounds awesome. David Arave says, hi, Sean. Good evening. Warm hugs on a cold Sunday evening. To you too. Lovely to see you. Elena says, just half Panama cotton for some small bags that were planned as gifts. Oh, lovely. Historically Fashion says, I'm sewing for a 2-week Disney Universal holiday in September. Using my stash is Disney quilting cotton for mock-ups before cutting into my expensive spoon flower. Ooh, that's going to be pretty. Do share on the Peeps group because we'd love to see. Deb says, haha, you're asking the wrong one to remember anything. I walk into the kitchen and forget what I went in for. Same. So if I forget to email you, it's because I've got like sieve for brain. So at some point I will email you. David Arave says, that's the thing. They pay us peanuts and say support small businesses who don't benefit from the economics of scale. Is it a wonder small business economy is crumbling? Totally crazy. Yes. Johanna says, why did I decide to shorten a border print skirt? I had to remove the waistband, zip and pockets and then have to put it all back together. Oh, it'll be so nice when you do though. Johanna said, I've read that one. Sarah says, I don't have much time to sew now, only when baby sleeps, and my body has wildly changed. So I want to try making my first capsule collection. So I have some things that fit together. That's a really good idea. I love that idea. David and Rave says, they being the majority of employers, including those who could afford to pay properly. Yep. Robin says, aha, it's like You Know Me or something. 2 of the grid are historic inspired. One a neo-Victorian walking suit based on trend patterns, angel wing skirt, and a Regency evening dress for the gala. Exciting. Sarah says, my local fabric store does a buy 1 meter get 2 free sale at the end of every season, so I wait for that and splurge then. Nice. Totally worth it. And then it says 12 days left and I need to finish 20 bags and go to work and be a mum and deal with major procrastination problems. I love that emoji. Good luck. David Array says, I like your outfit as always. What a wardrobe. You are draped in Kew Gardens today. Yes, I am wearing Savannah and I love it. I love it so much. In fact, I do have 8 meters of the Savannah viscose left, and I was going to put it on my Make 9 for this year because I want to make a 9345 with the giant shirt sleeves, and I want to make an Eve dress from that last 8 meters I've got left. In fact, I will probably end up with about 2 meters left over from that. So maybe I will remake the cow neck top, because the one that I've got I've given to my mum, so possibly. But yeah, I was going to put that on my Make 9, and I may still do it because I do love this print. It is beautiful. Darcy says, memory of a goldfish here as well. Yes. Sal says, I'm also going to create my own wizard stuff and will wear the cosplay when seeing Lord of the Rings musical. Oh, cool. Very cool. Robin says, angel wing shirt. Bloody sausage fingers. No worries. Ina says, will you do another capsule collection this year? I want to finish off the anthesis. I really want to plan another capsule collection around these colors, possibly with some turquoise or purple thrown in. I really want to plan that, but I'm still only halfway through the anthesis and I've still got all of this to go. So I really want to finish this before I do another one. But I do have a evening mini capsule collection based around a dress that I've already had made for me that I think I actually need to take apart and remake, because the one that I've had made for me is far too small for me now. And I don't think I'm ever going to get back down to that size without starving myself, and I like food too much. But yeah, I'm going to be doing a mini evening capsule collection, which hopefully will be interesting, and it's going to be a month-long project. But I'm very tempted to do the planning stage for the second capsule collection that I want to work on, because I love doing planning. But I'm going to be doing that a little bit later on in the year. So yes, Ina, I will be, but not for a little while. Dave and Arave says, it's a lovely design and glad you are feeling creative with the remaining 8 meters. Yes. Well, this is the viscose jersey, and that I've got viscose, regular woven viscose, and this is a stretch. So yeah, and I have so much stuff made up in this print, but I love it. It's my favourite. Sarah says, Lord of the Rings musical. I'm going to have to look that up. I saw the Lord of the Rings musical in London, and the staging of it was amazing. So yeah, but that was years ago. Amy says, I have planned out my Make 9, but already have 2 more plans, and we're still in January. Planning is fun though. Plan more. Debbie says, Caroline, I get the vintage silk, although mine is not as old as yours. Mark's mum bought some red silk from Hong Kong in the early 80s when she lived there. It's sitting in my stash and it terrifies me. I've got some fabric from the early 50s in my stash that was bought as a present for me from a very, very dear friend. And she bought it. It was vintage when she got it. Yeah, it utterly terrifies me. So yeah, I'm with you on that one. Darcy says, I was wondering about angel wing skirt. It sounded interesting. It did. Sal says Sarah is playing in the State Theatre here in Sydney. And Caroline says to Sal, I saw the Lord of the Rings musical when it was in London. It's truly fabulous. Yeah, it was the up and down round stage, wasn't it? It was brilliant. And they came out in the audience, and yeah, it was really good. I really enjoyed that. David Rave says, when it comes to taking in or darting dresses, or when it comes to shortening a hem, what printed design do you find most challenging to work with? As in printed fabric, or like that's what I think you mean. If it's got like a really obvious print on it, like a border print, I also have some fabric that I'm using some point this year, which is panels, and the idea of having to alter that once that's been made just fills me with horror. David Rave says, as in anything that's totally plain. Like, I really like these kind of prints because for me, technically this is directional, but these are cut on the bias and you can't really tell that the hummingbird is I mean, now that I've pointed it out, you can see that the hummingbird's going that way, but like in all those gathers and stuff, you can't really tell. So if it's a really, really kind of large, obvious print, then terrifying. And border prints, I think, I've forgotten who did it already, but yeah, shorting the border print the way you did is the only way to do it. And it's a lot of work, but it will be worth it. But yeah, those are the ones that I kind of avoid. Marie says, I haven't decided on my make line yet, but apparently this year's colour is mocha, and I have a few fabrics in those colours, so I might use those. That's a really good idea. That's a really good idea. Ina says, any new Lady McElroy fabric collections that have caught your eye? I have been really good and not looked because I have so many of their prints already to work through. But they have got some new ones coming out in the spring, summer that I've been told about, and I've had a look, and there's some really, really good ones coming, but they won't be available to you guys for a while, so I won't say anything about them until they are, because sometimes production does get delayed, and I don't want to be like, oh yeah, look at this one, and then you can't have it for months more. Caroline says, the fabric came back on Royal Britannia. Grandpa was the chief engine room artificer. Very cool. Joker Clee says, I have a bunch of $55 a yard linen to turn into clothes for my better half and really don't want to screw that up, so might have to use some of the cheaper stuff for mock-ups first. Yes. David Array says, that's true. I suppose one wouldn't know what it looked like pre the alterations. Yes. And Debbie says, ooh, royal connections too. No wonder you don't want to cut into it. Yeah. Amy says, oh, does anyone have a good place to source wool suiting in Canada? I need stark white and black of the same fabric. If I don't find a wool gabardine, I'll get a twill. I would say Mood Fabrics, but I appreciate that that's not Canadian, that is American, but they have some amazing solids in there. Their wool silk blend, if the budget stretches to that. So Felicia says, hi, I just woke up. I'm really sorry, but we're going to be stopping any second now. And we are not united. I'm late. What are we making? Currently nothing. And we're only doing half an hour today because Andrea from Beyond the Pink Door is starting her hangout any minute now. So I'm going to just read the last two comments. Dave Narave says, too much info, Sean, but I have swim shorts with a similar design to your dress. Just love nature. Don't give a scrambled egg how uncool it is. No, I agree with you. I love this print and I will wear it until I'm, yeah. I don't care that prints are either in or out of fashion. If I like them, I wear them. Joker Clee says, yeah, I'd say check Mood and maybe Joanne's, since they do have a warehouse in Southern Ontario, but quickly before Joanne's closed down. So Felicia says, just remembered a long time ago you made a dress for a pattern that hasn't been released yet. Did you ever release it? No, I still have the 12, but I don't think they're going ahead with it. So I think it's forever going to be a secret squirrel project, I'm afraid. But I'm going to keep moving the footage that I have of it over just in case I can show it to you guys one day, but I still have it. Caroline says, have a wonderful week, peeps. See you next Sunday. And everyone else is saying goodbye as well. So thank you very much for joining me. Next week, it will be the morning hangout and it will be longer than this one. But I don't want to overrun into Andrea's as well because you need to go look at the fabrics. Even if you don't buy anything, just look at the pretty, pretty fabrics. So thank you very much for joining me. There will be 2 videos next week. I hang out on Wednesday for the $10 and $15 tier Patreon peeps. There will be the behind the scenes waffle for Patreon on Wednesday as well, and then that will be released on the main channel on Friday. And then, as I say, the hangout next Sunday will be the morning hangout. So 11:30 start for Patreon and 12:30 start for everybody else. So I hope I can see you all at one of those ones during the week, and I hope you have a fabulous week, and I will see you then. Bye.